G'day there guys, still winning arguments I had 5 years ago in the shower here, back at it again with another episode of r/am I the a-hole. Now if you love this like I love you, I want you to smash like on the video, sit back, relax, and enjoy some bloody good content. Posted by user, Step Siblings Am I the A-hole? Titled, Am I the a-hole for still wanting the present from my dad, even after my mum has protested me getting it, saying it's unfair? My parents got a divorce when I was like 5 or something. My mum remarried almost instantly, and since my dad's living arrangement isn't the best, he lives in an apartment. I live full-time with my mum, but visit my dad regularly, but don't stay there for more than a day if my mum lets me. My mum's husband has a total of 4 kids, 3 girls and 1 boy. The girls are 18, 16 and 12, and the boy is 17. My mum also has a kid with him who is half my sister, who is now 10, and I am 17. I don't really like my step-family. I get along with them, and my half-sister looks up to me the most, but I feel a bit left out, because other than her, I don't really have any blood relation to any of them, and I feel like an outcast. I spend a lot of time just by myself in my room, or out with my friends because of it. My dad said that he's going to buy me a TV for my room, which is awesome because I don't have a TV, but it's an old one that barely works, and I've asked my mum for one, but she isn't budging and says it's too expensive. While my step-siblings are all getting LED TVs in their room, and I'm stuck with basically an early 2000s TV that has like 5 channels. My mum found out about my dad giving me the TV, and is mad that it's unfair that I get such a big present, but my siblings don't. I'm kinda mad because they all got TVs one Christmas, while the thing that I got was a football jersey that was maybe $65. I still want my dad to give me the TV because I'll set it up and all, and he thinks it's ridiculous for my mum to preach unfairness when I'm the one who feels like an outcast and gets pushed to the side for them. And now that I get one thing that makes me feel not like an afterthought, and it gets fought the most on. I told my mum that I'm getting the TV and I'll set it up, and that I'll call it her Christmas present as well, cause she doesn't have to get me anything either. That shut her up, but I can see she is still mad at my dad. Am I the a-hole for wanting the TV my dad promised me for Christmas, even though my mum is against it? No, I don't understand this stupid family dynamic that's going on in this household. That mum needs to get over herself. What, does she hate you? Is she not okay with your dad buying you something a little once in a while? It really doesn't make any sense. I would honestly just move out with your dad in this position. And I don't think that you wanting the TV your dad promised you for Christmas, even though your mum's against it, makes you an a-hole. It makes her an a-hole, plain and simple. Not the a-hole. Your parents got divorced. That means your mum doesn't really have a say in the gifts your dad gets you, especially if it's not dangerous. If he wants to give you a TV, great. It's not your problem what your siblings get. OP says, it's annoying because she didn't care when they were the ones who got good presents and I didn't, but know that I will, and it's a big deal. Just don't be surprised if you're forced to share it or it gets broken. That's what I was thinking, it's going to get broken. Then the father should make the mother pay for its replacement, as OP is underage, and the property given still falls under the father for legal purposes. Not the a-hole. Your mum is a huge one though. I don't know why parents are so unfair sometimes. I don't know either. I do sometimes pee her off by calling her husband my stepdad, or her husband or my siblings my step-siblings. 'Cause hey, if they're not going to treat me like family, then I don't need to call them family. AITA, I do consider and love my half-sister though. I try to be as nice to her as I can with the limited time I'm home. Sounds totally reasonable. It's not like you've tried to make everyone's life hell. You've tolerated being thrown into another family that you didn't know. A lot of kids rebel against this sort of stuff. Your mum should be thankful. I'm now in the mood to Google why some parents treat their children so differently. Enjoy your TV. Not the a-hole. I am a mum and a stepmom in a situation with a blended family. My stepkids have very generous grandparents who take them on vacations and buy them gifts. My kids do not get these things. I just explained to my kids that things aren't always fair, and that it's not their step-siblings' fault that the other grandparents take them on expensive vacations. I try to do special things with each of my kids, and then we all do special things as a family together. No one gets special treatment in my house because I see how it hurts feelings, but I can't control other folks, and it's senseless to get mad at someone for giving a gift. That's odd. Your description of yourself seems to match what my dictionary has for everyday hero almost exactly. Update. Am I the a-hole for still wanting the present from my dad, even after my mum has protested me getting it, saying it's unfair? So, Christmas was alright. My mum didn't get me anything because I told her not to, and she's now counting my dad's gift of the TV as hers first as well. A lot of you were suggesting that I ask my dad to hold on to it till I move out, and that's what I did, so I don't technically have the TV, but I will. My sister is kinda bummed at that because she wanted to have one and not share one with her parents. My mum is kinda mad that my dad got that, but she has kept quiet about it because I don't really have it, and she didn't get me anything. Things are still the same with my step-family, though me and my stepbrother have started to talk more because of college football and basketball. My half-sister has started to use the TV with her youngest half-sister, the 12-year-old, and they seem to be getting closer, so that's nice. Once I leave in like 6 months, she won't be totally alone. So all in all, things are good. Not great, but good. Thank you for the advice about having my dad hold on to the TV, because I agree that having it in my room is just bound for something mad to happen. Danny99 says, your mum's an arse for counting a gift she has nothing to do with and wanted to prevent you from receiving as from her too. The goal of your mother to claim the gift was from her as well, when she's the reason you can't even have it. I can't believe your mum did not get you anything. That's heartbreaking. Well, I mean, does candy count? Lol. I got one of those foot-long M&M bags, so I mean there is that, but it was my half-sister and stepbrother who get me that, but my family all piggybacked off of it. Wow. Are you sure you're really your mum's kid? I've had that same question. I don't know at this point. I have 6 months and then I'm fudging out of this place. Posted by user Car Throwaway Pit. Titled, Am I the a-hole for demanding the same Christmas present my stepbrother got? I sound a lot like a real a-hole, but I have completely lost my mind over this. I'm 17, and my stepbrother is 17. We both have our driving license. I just found out 5 days ago that my dad and stepmom bought a used car for my stepbrother. They got me a $600 gift card to Best Buy. I know $600 is a lot of money, but what the hell? Am I crazy, or is it super unfair? It's literally the straw that broke the goddamn camel's back. I'm actually so ticked off that I've moved to my mum's house full time. My dad seems to be genuinely sorry and told me he's looking for a car now, but that it'll take a while. I messaged him back saying that I'll decide if I want to see him after he decides to be fair for once. I've ignored all other calls and messages from him since. My stepbrother messaged me saying that I need to chill out and that he'll let me use his car. He also said that I need to stop tramping and ruining everyone's Christmas. I told him he needs to get in his Civic and F off. Am I the a-hole? Look, I don't blame you for this one. $600 is quite a lot of money, but it's definitely not a car. And it's a $600 gift card to Best Buy. They couldn't have just given you $600? I don't understand that. I guess they tried to make it up for you in some way, but it does show in this case again, clear favoritism for your sibling, and it's not fair at all. I don't blame you for being ticked off. I would do exactly the same thing you did. Not the a-hole. It takes a serious miscalculation by both adults to think that kind of uneven gift giving is okay. I think after you cool off, you should sit down with your dad and explain how hurt you were by the disparity. Agreed. OP, try not to hold this against your stepbrother because he was gifted the car. It wasn't his doing, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Express to your dad how this differences in gifts hurt you and try to move forward from it. I'm sure they didn't try to intentionally hurt you. Also, try to find out other stuff like if a car was already on their to-do list, etc. Sorry, buddy. I hope you still have a good Christmas. I mean, no, stepbrother didn't make the unfair gift purchase, but he's kind of a jerk about it. He shouldn't be telling OP how to feel. Yeah, but he's also a 17-year-old kid, not an adult like the parents. Not the best reaction, but offering to let OP use the car shows he has more maturity than the parents. I still feel like he's old enough that he needs to learn how his words affect other people. He told OP to stop tramping and ruining Christmas, while honestly, the adults being unable to be thoughtful about their gifts is the real factor that ruins Christmas. That's not okay. No, OP shouldn't hold the gift against him, but that comment is nasty. Not the a-hole. That was a bullcrap move by your dad and stepmom. Unless all money for the car came from stepmom or stepmom and stepbro's dad, that is just way out of line. You were right to put your foot down on this. Your dad treated you like a second-class child. Good on you for standing up for yourself. As for ruining everyone's Christmas, why is it expected for you to be quiet while your Christmas is ruined? Update. Am I the a-hole for demanding the same Christmas present my stepbrother got? Here's the update some of you have been asking for. I decided I needed a break from my dad and his family, so I spent the holidays exclusively at my mum's house. I will most likely not be continuing the week-on, week-off arrangement at my dad's house this year. The reason I initially got from my dad is that apparently I'm better at getting rides, while my stepbrother keeps bugging them for rides. And also because my stepbrother is there full-time and I'm only there every other week. I think that's total bullcrap. He knows how difficult it's been to get my part-time job. My stepbrother doesn't even have a job. Like, damn. And now the custody BS is my problem? I don't think so. I took the gift card and told my dad not to bother with getting me a car. I'm currently borrowing my grandmother's 2002 Corolla and I love it. And all I have to do in exchange is drive my grandmom around whenever she wants. It's awesome. We have a blast going around town. There were a lot of different judgments on my initial post, but at least I know I'm not completely crazy. People might think I'm being an entitled brat, and that's fair, but I was legit so grateful for the gift card. I was freaking out, but I felt so stupid when I found out what my stepbrother got. It's not that I needed a car, I just wanted to be treated equally. This is the first time ever I've actually been resentful about having my stepbrother in my life, which I don't want to feel, but it's the truth. They could have bought 2 cars for what they spent on my stepbrother's car. Look, I don't hate my dad, but I realized that I can't really expect him to do right by me without me tramping about it. He's been sending money to my mother now since I'm here full-time. Some of that money is used to pay for my insurance. He does text me a few times a week and I reply, but I don't really have long conversations with him. I know he's sorry and he wants me around, but I just need some space from him. It kinda sucks realizing that a parent might not love you as much as you thought they did, but I'm sure our relationship will improve in time. I'm on track for college this year, and I want to focus on school and put all of this behind me. I will be one of the few people from our family going to college, so everyone is pretty excited. So all in all, I think the outcome is pretty positive. Thanks, guys. Boyd says, if you do truly enjoy spending time with your grandma, do it for as long as possible. Take her out for a spin, learn what card games she likes and play it, and ask her if she's reading any books, and you read it the second you find out so you can talk about it. Ask her about her childhood. Even if she shrugs it off as nothing out of the ordinary, push for details. Ask about how she and your granddad met. Ask about their first date. Ask about raising your mum or dad or uncle or aunt or whomever. Ask what her greatest joy in life is. Ask what she's afraid of. Tell her you love her every day. I'm only 35, but I grew up a quarter of a mile away from my maternal grandparents with a single mum. I spent so much time with them as a young kid, but less and less as a teenager. My grandmother died when I was 18 and away at some military training. My mother didn't want to call the Red Cross and affect my training or mentality. I missed her sickness, her last days, and her funeral. My grandfather died 3 years later when I was on a Navy ship doing a training exercise off the coast of Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, before a deployment. There are hundreds of questions I wish I could have asked them as an adult. They were so very important to me as a kid and have a lot to do with who I am as a man, as does my mother. I miss them every day, and I wish I could ask them those kinds of questions and tell them how thankful for them I am, and how much I love them both. Give your grandma some love from an internet stranger that lost his grandmother and didn't get the chance to say goodbye. And OP replies, "Yeah, my grandmother is totally kooky, and I love it. She's always telling me to speed. It's a good thing that I'm a responsible driver, lol. I love her, and she's the best. It's actually weird because she's my dad's mum, so there's like a thing going on between her and my dad. But that's not my problem." Active Encouragement says, "Your father's reasoning is bullcrap. The only reason I am commenting is to say that I absolutely love that you were driving your grandmother around in exchange for her car. If I could do this with my grandmother again, I would in a heartbeat. Love every minute with her. Yeah, and she keeps taking me to drive-thrus every time, lol." That's so wholesome. I wish I got to say goodbye to my grandmother and get to do these things with her, but didn't pan out that way, unfortunately. Posted by user Still the A-hole. Titled, "Am I the a-hole for trying to help out an ex-partner who is in financial need? I was very much a huge a-hole in our relationship." Edit, please don't judge me on my actions pre-2014. I know I was a huge a-hole. So firstly, using an alt here because I was really an a-hole back in our relationship. We were young and long distance for 3 years, then we moved in together at the age of 20 in 2010. I had issues. I drank too much and I was gambling pretty much everything we earned. I was telling her the bills were paid, but I was actually hiding letters, and eventually an eviction came, and that was the end of our relationship, which was for the better. Unknown to her, I still had a card to her bank and siphoned off her next month's wages after the breakup, and I was a complete a-hole for the next few months to her before the police caught up with me and I was arrested, charged, and luckily escaped prison, but did have to pay her £3,000, which I did very slowly out of benefits, and it took me 3 years. In 2014, I hit rehab and my life changes for the better. I've been in recovery since then and completely turned my life around. Now married with our own house and investment property, things are going very well. That's enough backstory, but below is what I'm wanting to be judged on. 3 weeks ago, I met up with some old friends and found out my ex-partner had been in a serious accident in 2017, which had left her unable to use her dominant hand and have chronic pain. I did feel bad and did a little bit of Facebook stalking after. I hadn't thought of her for years before this, and a flood of emotions on how I treated her ate into me, and I did feel very guilty. It became obvious that she is struggling financially, and I sat down and spoke with my wife, and we decided that sending her a check to repay some of the damage I caused her back in 2010 was the right thing to do. I managed to get her address and sent her a letter apologizing for my actions in 2010 to 2012, and I know this wouldn't make things right. I hoped that a check of £10,000 would help, as this was a massive chunk of savings for us and wasn't done easily. Today, I've received an abusive message from her saying she's very upset and I must be absolutely crazy for thinking she would accept money from me. I genuinely thought we were doing something nice to help her and repay back at least some of the damage I caused, but apparently some of my friends think that I'm a total D-bag for it. Am I the a-hole? Yes. What are you doing sending her money for an accident that happened 3 years ago? I feel like you should have just stayed out of her life? What's wrong with you? Like, you can't just go and change the past. You can apologize for sure, but look, Her reaction showed that, hey, you shouldn't have even tried in the first place. And I know for different people this works in different ways, but I do feel like you're an a-hole for reaching out and trying to fix it, because you did enough damage in the past. I don't think she wanted you to bring those feelings back up. So yeah, you're the a-hole. Leave her alone. If you really wanted her to have the money, send it anonymously or have someone else give it to her. You treated her like crap for years, and now you want to swoop in and act like a hero? Total a-hole. OP says, I totally didn't see this point of view before. Yes, I was a total a-hole, but I was honestly just trying to repay some of the damage I did. Of course you didn't. It sounds like you have a long track record of only thinking about yourself and fudging her over. Ooh, that's cold, Super Judy, but oh, good on you. You're the a-hole. You defrauded this woman. I understand feeling guilty, but you literally defrauded her after she rightfully dumped you. You are the last person she wants to hear from. Her message, I'm guessing, wasn't as much abusive as shock and horror that you would have even considered contacting her after you financially abused her, lied, and was a generally narcissistic a-hole to her. You're the a-hole. Though I understand that you had good intentions, you screwed her over financially and emotionally. You may think of it as paying her back, but to her, the fact that you can just drop 10 grand like that? She is in dire straits and doesn't need to know how well you're doing for yourself. Not your intention, but probably how she feels. And OP says, thanks. I understand, and now I do feel pretty horrible. Also, something to add, 10 grand is a very painful amount of money for us. It hurts us, and we can't afford it really, but I and my wife discussed it and made the decision. And they say, that's fair enough, but she doesn't know that. All she sees is you turning up out of nowhere and dropping a crap ton of money in her lap. You meant well, and I think on the whole we can agree on that. It didn't work out the way you intended. Unfortunate, but I don't think there's any more you can do. Updates. Am I the a-hole for trying to help out an ex-partner who's in financial need? So, after my Am I the a-hole post, it was clear that you guys all thought that I was the a-hole. The situation brought up quite a bit that I didn't think about. I had sent a check for a huge amount of money to my ex, who I had badly mistreated financially due to an addiction that I'm now recovering from. She sent me a message telling me that she wasn't interested in my money, and rightfully so. Last Monday, the 16th of December, I checked my online banking and saw that the check had been cashed, and I thought to myself, I'm happy that she has the money. And that was that. I wouldn't attempt any further contact. On Saturday just gone, I got a message on Facebook from her, a complete U-turn from her original message. She explained how when we were together, there was often broken promises about money and how money was coming soon. And she thought immediately upon receiving the check that it would bounce when she paid it into the bank, and was very shocked when it actually cleared, and she still waited another week before she believed it was real. We have ended up talking lots about our relationship and how it ended, and the broken promises and mistakes upon my part, but also reminisced on some of the good times we had together. We are never really going to be close friends, but she seems to have accepted my apology for my actions way back when. She told me about her current financial situation and how much the money I repaid her will improve her current quality of life. Although realizing that I was the a-hole didn't cause me to do any different actions. I just wanted to update the situation. Although I'm still the a-hole for how I treated her during the relationship with her. I would like to think I'm not the a-hole for my actions in the previous post now. Shout out to OP's wife. What a legend. And OP says, my wife totally is my world, and well, in 2014, when I left rehab, I went into a halfway house, where I still had the support of the rehab center, but I could also love my life. I was open and told her the truth on our second date, that I'm broke and just came out of rehab and still massively wanted to gamble again. She's been my rock ever since. There for me whenever I needed her, she has been supportive. Our relationship started when I was down right at the bottom, and she made me who I am today. Once I started my first tech job, after rehab in March 2015, she handled our finances. And when I came to her and said, look, I know we're currently renting, but if it's okay with you, I would like to buy my sister some diamond earrings. These are the ones, they cost £2,500, but I stole them from her when I was 18. We sat down and she said okay. We got everything down, and she said to me, we're going to repay everyone I've stolen from. Over the next 18 months, we did just that. My family, before being laid back, had already forgiven me, not forgotten, but they accepted that I was sorry for my previous dishonesty. They absolutely adore my wife and treat her as a child of their own. Just reading through my original post, I really don't give her enough credit, but yeah, you're right, she is totally amazing. Alright guys, that's where I'm going to end today's video. I really do hope you enjoyed it, and maybe even learned something that you didn't know before. If you haven't already, please do feel free to click that like button, as it really does help me in the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't already and you love today's video, please feel free to subscribe. I would love it a lot. Also, big shout out to all my Patreon members and channel subscribers. You guys are all up on the screen right now. I love you. I love your faces. Also, I love seeing you guys all chatting down below in the comments. It brightens my day to see the stories that you guys share and just the kind words you guys always have for my videos, as well as everyone else in the videos. I love you too. But honestly, your ongoing support means the world to me, and I just love it so much that you guys are able to support a career for myself that I invest so much time into. And you guys honestly motivate me to work harder each and every day to put more love into the videos for you guys. If you guys have watched this far in the video and you haven't already subscribed on Patreon or become a channel member, that's cool, you don't have to, but there are links down below. You can donate any amount of money, pledge that any month, cancel whenever. I'm completely cool with it. It's just there for you to support me if you'd like to go the extra mile. And I'll go the extra mile for you guys by putting out new amazing content every single day. With that said guys, I really hope you have a good day, night, sleep, bath, time at work, whatever you're up to today. This has been Markee. I'll see you in the next amazing video. Bye.